Hello again. This is episode 5, and this is probably the most special episode of this batch. For a while, I considered this to be my best episode, and still, I think it's pretty high up there in the list of best Jennyffer episodes I ever done. It's just so, I don't know. I feel this episode is a culmination of a lot of ideas that I had bouncing in my head. It's mainly, I feel it's the most trans episode of the bunch. Because all the other episodes are more, Jennyffer being bullied or Jennyffer talking to her mom or whatever. But this episode is the one where I put all the inside jokes of the trans community. All the reference to the trans memes. All the fucking posts that I've seen in the Egg IRL subreddit, which is a subreddit about people who are quote-unquote on denial. Although at this point the joke is kind of really spoiled because, like, if you're there, you're basically being there and posting there is basically the act of admitting to yourself, yeah, this is what I am. By this point, the whole denial thing is kind of farcical. But yeah, I mean, if you're just cracking your egg or about to crack the egg, that place is fucking nitroglycerin for your brain. So yeah, I'm putting so many references to the trans community here, and I'm gonna mention every single one of them because I am obsessive. So here we go.
Jennyffer?
Straight from the get-go, the fucking "this is a place of honor" reference. Also, there we go, another reference to Jennyfer's dad. That is such a funny fucking drawing of Jennyfer as a baby, by the way. God damn.
That must be your tutor. Please come down from your room.
Mom, I was planning to hang out with Peter.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have gotten yourself suspended, little miss.
I like the little bit of continuity that it's implied here. The idea that, Jennyffer peed on the girl's bathroom, literally on the room itself, and now she's suspended.
Hi, Felix. Oh, thank you so much for coming.
Hi, Miss Schmidt.
And that is Mr. Catfishing, a very, very, very good friend of mine, one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And this is how I met him. I put out a call for anyone who wanted to play this character, and the guy answered. And that's how we started talking with each other, and that's how we became friends. And he did a fantastic, phenomenal job with this character. I love how gentle, how much of a teacher he comes off as. How mature, how kind.
It's no problem.
Now be good with your teacher, Jenny. I'll be back in a few hours.
Hello, Jenny.
Hi.
Before we begin, do you mind telling me your pronouns?
She, her? Obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, this is a common critique and complaint that a lot of trans women have had with the whole, oh, could you tell me your pronouns? And the whole pronoun circle thing, which is like, you don't want to have to explain it. Like, if I put this much effort into transitioning, it's because I want you to assume my pronouns. I don't want to have to explain them. Like, goddamn. Like, why am I dressing as a girl if you're not going to see me as a girl? Like, I don't want my gender identity to be contingent on something that I have to explain to you. I want to be something that is obvious. I want to see something that comes natural from what you can see of me. Although I can understand if other trans people have a different philosophy towards it. Oh, here we go. Okay, I gotta pause here because goddamn. So, first of all, Pearl from Steven Universe, very queer show, very popular on Tumblr. Homestuck, the little house there, that's another very, very Tumblr, very, very queer thing. Furcon, of course, a furry convention. Again, very queer, very Tumblr. It's like, it's giving, Then we have the little infinity logo, which is the autism sign, which originally a lot of people thought that the jigsaw puzzle piece was like the autism logo or the autism sign, but that comes from Autism Speaks, which is a horrible, horrible, horrible organization that treats autistic people incredibly badly. It's like Autism Speaks is essentially PETA for autistic people. The same way in which PETA pretends to want to help animals, but in fact it's a horrible organization that hurts animals. Autism Speaks is the exact same way. So that's why it was changed to the Infinity Rainbow logo. And the flag there, it was supposed to be the bisexual flag, but this is in black and white, so it doesn't fully convey it. Probably should have just put the colors there. And then the final reference there, which is probably the most obscure one and the most stupid reference that I put in the whole fucking thing, that's Bayes' formula, which is the fundamental formula about how to think, essentially, rationally, about how to formulate hypotheses, about how to conclude what possibility is more likely given another fact. It's a good way of updating your observations based on evidence. And it's like the keystone, the cornerstone of the internet community known as the Rationalists, founded by Eliezer Yudkowsky, founder of Less Wrong and the author of Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. I was very, very, very enmeshed into those communities way back when, starting somewhere around 2016 and all the way until 2020 whatever. And yeah, no, it's a very fun community. It's a very cool community. I think it has a lot of very good tips with regards to like biases that you can fall into. They also talk a lot about effective altruism and AI risk. That's like one of the biggest pet projects of that entire community, which is mitigating the risk that artificial intelligence will become super intelligent and will become self-aware, or not necessarily self-aware, but it will become super intelligent. It will have goals that are not aligned with human priorities. It would have some stupid, ridiculous goal like creating infinity amount of one specific molecule or something like that. And so they will destroy the world in doing that. And we won't be able to stop it because it will be more intelligent than us. So the thing about this community is that it's surprisingly overpopulated by trans women. It has a very disproportionate amount of trans people in it. Kind of like the same way that it happens in computer science and other nerdy spaces. It was a very common joke that, you know, once you start going into rationalism, you kind of start transitioning in a sense. And so that's why I put it there. Originally I wrote the formula wrong, but thankfully my good friend Tiffany Loves Broadway corrected it. So you can thank her for that. I love, by the way, I love this this cliche of, oh my god, you are like me. I can see you for who you are. This person next to me is one of us, even though they are hiding it. I love that.
So, what are your pronouns?
Oh, right. Well,
Oh,
I
this
guess
speech.
I identify as a guy, but, like, it's not like I would care if I woke up one morning in the body of a woman or anything, but, like, I just sort of cis by default, you know? So, yeah, guess it's he, him.
So back then, this exact same speech, this kind of reasoning, this thought process, was famously associated with essentially people who were trans, but they didn't want to admit it to themselves. There was this running gag called, "Oh, cis by default, therefore you're trans," right? Okay, which it's probably a good thing that it was left in the past. So the concept of cis by default is the idea that, you know, you don't particularly mind the gender that you were born with. You don't particularly mind the body that you were born with. You don't think you would mind either to be in a different body with a different gender either. But I guess this is the path of least resistance. So the thing is, you know, that was kind of my thought process way back when, back in like 2019, before I transitioned. I was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I don't mind being a boy. I mean, I wouldn't complain if I was a girl. But, you know, I don't want to. Nowadays I've changed my mind a little bit on it. Like I wouldn't want to encourage people to read too much into this kind of speech or this kind of reasoning because maybe it doesn't mean anything. It's not a good idea to make assumptions. The funny thing is that I was kind of terrified of showing this script to my voice actor who was playing Felix because I was terrified that this might be the thing that cracks their egg. And because I showed this script to the guy and the guy was like, oh yeah, no, this is exactly how I feel about it. And I was like, oh, damn, beans, fuck, shit, we better tread carefully with this one, boys. So yeah.
I have to take a shit.
Peter, you're not gonna believe this.
You can see how I am playing around with the fucking audio settings on Premiere here. Fucking, what's the name of the effect? Circumloquocious reverberation or something like that. See, this is another example. Oh man, there's so many references here. This is another example of, Peter kind of wanting to be manly. He's doing exercises. He's lifting weights. Also, I like the idea that every time that I show Peter and every time I show his room, it's going to be chock full with the most obscure nerdy references that I can think of. I love the idea that Peter is like a very niche kind of nerd. So every time that I show him with all of the most obscure interests. Like, yeah, we can see some Warhammer 40k minis there, and that's almost mainstream by this point. But, you can see the fucking album cover of Space Heroes and Other Fools, which is an entire album made of nothing but sea shanties, but for space exploration. Sci-fi sea shanties. Space shanties. Like Marinere songs about people traveling through space. It's an amazing fucking album. I super recommend it. And also, that's the fucking Coherence poster, which is one of those indie darling sci-fi movies for cinephiles. Also, the song in the background is an Argentinian song called Nadie es Perfecto, No One is Perfect by Patricio Rey y los Redonditos de Ricota. I like putting Argentinian songs, especially Argentinian rock songs from when I was a child, into this show.
Hey, Jenny, are you coming anytime soon?
I can't right now. I'm with my teacher. But listen.
I find it very fascinating, and I wish I had explored this a little more. But it's really fascinating to see Jennyfer's reaction to other trans people. Because she feels very ambivalent about her own transition. She's very resentful of the fact that she is trans, in a sense. Like, if she's one of those trans women who, if she could, she wishes that she could just be a cis girl. So, sometimes she can feel a little ambivalent about about interacting with other trans people. But she appreciates her community.
Teacher, I think he's like me.
Why? Is he rude?
Also, I like the fact that Peter can sass Jennifer a little. Like, Peter has a spine. Peter can have attitude if he wants to.
Realize they're trans.
Wait, and how does he identify?
Says by default.
So this entire conversation is me having to explain the concept of egg just in case that the audience doesn't know it. I'm introducing this concept just in case that, someone watching has never heard of it. Because, in some senses, I don't think it's so much anymore nowadays, but back then, it was kind of an inside trans community thing.
Pathetic is that?
Well, maybe that's just who he is, Jenny.
As if. I can smell the hun on him a mile away. But anyway, I can use this. I'm gonna force him, or rather her, to...
That's a reference to a very obscure little comic that someone did, kind of a shit post. I found it on 4chan, and it's basically the same premise of this episode. Also, I like the idea that Peter is a bit more of the moral center of this story. Like, yes, Jenny has her wacky schemes that sometimes are kind of questionable, but Peter he's the one that has the moral rectitude to say, hey, Jenny, maybe you should check yourself before you wreck yourself. Damn.
Realize the truth, and with the ensuing emotional crisis, the class will be cancelled, and I'll be free to visit you.
I don't know, Jenny. It sounds kind of shitty to...
Like, this is such a fucking horrible thing to do. Like, this is such an immature thing to do. God damn, Jenny.
try and crack someone else's egg.
Well, you know what they say. You can't make an omelet without putting the pan to the fire.
That's not how...
I am so proud of
I'm
that
ready
stupid
to
joke.
begin.
Oh, are those cat ears? They're cute.
Yeah, I have a closet full of them. If you want, I can. Take
So
some
there's an
out
interesting
and
thing
lend
that
them
has
to
happened
you,
in
know?
the time that since this came out. This came out in 2001. We are in 2005. 20. What did it? The fuck did I say? Did I say 2001? This came out in 2021. We're in 2025 now. And, you know, back then, cat girls were all the rage, but now it's all about dog girls. Funny how internet culture changes with the years. Out of the closet.
No, that's okay.
Oh, I almost forgot to take my hormones. Oh wow, you wouldn't believe how easy these are to get online. Yep, just a few clicks away.
Yeah, I know.
Is that so?
Yeah.
I've never done DIY hormones, but goddamn has it been tempting sometimes, given the state of medical care in my country.
My mom's a doctor. She has to give her patients advice to circumvent the ruthlessness of the medical system.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Want some?
No, Jenny, please. Those are yours. You shouldn't be sharing those with anyone.
That is such a good read. That is such a good read. Mr. Catfish did such a good job with that line. Like, it sounds so responsible and adult, but at the same time so kind and concerned. And oh no, Jenny, you should take care of yourself first. It's like, don't do drugs, kids. Also, I like the detail that the eggs move. The ears move. With Jennifer doing different expressions.
Well, when I hear something crazy, I heard online that apparently a lot of trans people don't actually experience dysphoria. Isn't that just insane?
Yeah, that was the thing that did it for me back then. When I was like, wait, hold on. Maybe, like, is it true that you don't actually need to experience, like, suicidal levels of dysphoria with your body in order to transition? Wait, what? Oh, God. Yeah, that got to me back then.
Well, while the breadth of human expression is fascinating, I think we should focus back on your studies, don't you think?
God, he's so good. He's so good doing that.
And there.
Wow, it's actually really easy.
You're a real...
Yeah, the fucking trans girls are good at programming joke. Such a it's like the chicken cross the road of trans jokes at this point.
really good student.
No, but like, it felt like it just came naturally to me, like it was instinctive or something.
I almost feel it's kind of dated. I think a lot of jokes in this episode almost feel kind of dated. They're very of their time.
Oh, and perfect timing. That should be your mom.
I'm back. Mom, look! I know how to code now! Well, isn't that lovely?
Your daughter is an amazing girl, Mrs. Schmidt.
And
Oh,
so
that
are
comes
you,
as so
Billy.
genuine.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, the groceries. I'm a little distracted. I meant to say that you're also great. Did you buy me the bra that I asked for? The old one is starting to get really small. Yes, I did. Oh.
What Jennifer is saying there is like, did you get me a new bra? The other one started to get really small, and when she pulls it out, she's like, oh yeah, C-cups!
Oh God, what the fuck am I doing?
I am so proud of this sequence. Goddamn, animating this sequence was so hard. I had to watch so many Sailor Moon transformations in order to like properly recreate it from scratch.
Oh, I'm so sorry about all this.
Oh, don't even think about it. You should have seen when Jenny cracked her egg. I had to change the carpet in her room.
Ah, that's such a cute joke. This is the same song that Peter was listening while doing exercises in his room, by the way. Crack, crack, el hueso al final, qué ruido, crack, 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 hasta estillar. Nunca, nunca nada, nunca, nunca nada, nunca, nunca nada especial. And with this, I think we can end this batch, which is very appropriate because this first 5 episodes were the first 5 episodes that I did back in 2001, and these were like the original 5. And once I finished this, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to continue this project. But then came 2022, and I was like, you know what? I do have more ideas that I want to explore. But we're gonna see that in the next batch.